After that, we organized multiple rounds of technical clarification discussions. Finally, Huawei solution exceeds our expectation. Finally, we chose to cooperate with Huawei. Currently, Huawei's USG series SASE converged gateways are deployed in more than 50 branches. Advanced threat prevention services and IPS and antivirus are enabled, ensuring high performance and smooth service flow in branches. In terms of O&M, Huawei provides a unified network and security controller, NC campus to manage network services and security devices in a unified manner. Compared with the separate management of multiple platforms in the past, Huawei's solution significantly improved operation efficiency. Currently, the 5G solution has implemented in Ethiopia with the 5G capabilities of Huawei branch SASE gateway. We are the first to implement with high-speed 5G interconnection between branches and headquarters. In future, we are deepening our strategic partnership with Huawei.
Hello everyone, this is Faham Al-Naim from UAE.
Hello everyone, this is Michael Tijani from Saudi.
Hi, this is Mohammed Abrar. I'm the PCS manager for Foresight Technologies Abu Dhabi. I'm really glad to be the member in the IB Club.
I'm glad to be an IB Club member.
I'm also a privileged member of Intelligent IB Club Huawei. It has been a great experience, and I also encourage all of you to be a part of a fantastic community where we are able to share intelligence and learn about the new Huawei technologies. And I think transformation of technologies will start from this IB Club.
Join IB Club now. Together we strive for intelligent IB.
We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
Please introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin Tolley, founder of the Tolley Group. The Tolley Group is a world-leading third-party testing service provider. We are committed to providing authoritative and fair test services for ICT vendors to help customers verify solution and product capabilities.
Could you tell us why you choose MWC to publish a report on SASE tests?
We've noticed that with the advent of the AI era, cyber attacks tend to be more intelligent and covert. On the other hand, up to 85% of enterprises around the world have deployed their services on the cloud. and a large number of branches need to access the cloud, making network security protection and management more challenging. Statistics show that the losses caused by ransomware attacks around the world exceed $10 billion each year. Network security has thus become a major concern of the C-suite. To address this issue, we evaluated mainstream SASE solutions in the industry and analyzed their product capabilities to help enterprises make informed decisions when it comes to network security.
Good to know that. Could you introduce the basic information about the SASE solution test?
Sure. We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Our tests focused on the multi-branch secure interconnection, local branch protection, and secure O&M scenarios, which are major concerns of government and education customers. A total of 18 typical cases were used to comprehensively evaluate these SASE solutions. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
What impressed you the most during the tests?
Sure, there are many impressive results. Here are some examples. In terms of detection capabilities, Huawei firewalls detected 95% of the threat and malware samples we used, which were public third-party samples. In contrast, the similar products detected only 80% of the samples. As far as the unknown virus variants generated using commonly available tools, Huawei firewalls detected 100% of them. In contrast, the other solutions we tested failed to detect them at all. In the current AI era, 4 new variants are generated each second, according to analysts. Therefore, the threat detection capabilities of network security devices is crucial. In terms of collaboration capabilities, Huawei has a unified controller that can manage both network and security capabilities. When a network security product detects a threat, it can collaborate with the endpoint network devices and other security products to handle the threat with one click and block the threat on the device nearest to the attack source. In contrast, the other vendors we tested needed to switch between multiple management platforms, leading to inefficient O&M and lateral movement. In terms of endpoint security capabilities, traditional security vendors rely on multiple independent endpoint security products to provide capabilities such as endpoint antivirus, intranet access authentication, and zero trust network access. This results in complex deployment and high O&M costs. Huawei integrates all these capabilities into one client to implement unified management of endpoints, user identities, and user permissions, and making operations a lot easier.
How can this test report help the SASE deployment of enterprise around the world?
This report helps enterprises gain an in-depth understanding of the key technologies and capabilities of mainstream SASE solutions in the industry, helping enterprises build a multi-branch protection system to secure their services.
Thank you so much for sharing, Toli. We're also curious about what impressed you most about the Huawei's boots.
What was most impressive that we've already talked about is that it's a unified solution where a single network console is used for network and security, and there's collaboration across the environment from the network manager through firewalls, switches, and down to the endpoints.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toli.
Okay, thank you for the invitation, for having me at All In Talk. Stay tuned for more.
Hello everyone, this is Faham Al-Naim from UAE.
Hello everyone, this is Michael Tijani from Saudi.
Hi, this is Mohammed Abrar. I'm the PCS manager for Foresight Technologies Abu Dhabi. I'm really glad to be the member in the IB Club.
I'm glad to be an IB Club member.
I'm also a privileged member of Intelligent IB Club Huawei. It has been a great experience, and I also encourage all of you to be a part of a fantastic community where we are able to share intelligence and learn about the new Huawei technologies. And I think the transformation of technologies will start from this IB Club.
Join IB Club now. Together we strive for intelligent IB.
We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
Please introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin Tolley, founder of the Tolley Group. The Tolley Group is a world-leading third-party testing service provider. We are committed to providing authoritative and fair test services for ICT vendors to help customers verify solution and product capabilities.
Could you tell us why you choose MWC to publish a report on SASE tests?
We've noticed that with the advent of the AI era, cyber attacks tend to be more intelligent and covert. On the other hand, up to 85% of enterprises around the world have deployed their services on the cloud, and a large number of branches need to access the cloud, making network security protection and management more challenging. Statistics show that the losses caused by ransomware attacks around the world exceed $10 billion each year. Network security has thus become a major concern of the C-suite. To address this issue, we evaluated mainstream SASE solutions in the industry and analyzed their product capabilities to help enterprises make informed decisions when it comes to network security.
Good to know that. Could you introduce the basic information about the SASE solution test?
Sure. We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Our tests focused on the multi-branch secure interconnection, local branch protection, and secure O&M scenarios, which are major concerns of government and education customers. A total of 18 typical cases were used to comprehensively evaluate these SASE solutions. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
What impressed you the most during the tests?
Sure, there are many impressive results. Here are some examples. In terms of detection capabilities, Huawei firewalls detected 95% of the threat and malware samples we used, which were public third-party samples. In contrast, the similar products detected only 80% of the samples. As far as the unknown virus variants generated using commonly available tools, Huawei firewalls detected 100% of them. In contrast, the other solutions we tested failed to detect them at all. In the current AI era, 4 new variants are generated each second, according to analysts. Therefore, the threat detection capabilities of network security devices is crucial. In terms of collaboration capabilities, Huawei has a unified controller that can manage both network and security capabilities. When a network security product detects a threat, it can collaborate with the endpoint network devices and other security products to handle the threat with one click and block the threat on the device nearest to the attack source. In contrast, the other vendors we tested needed to switch between multiple management platforms, leading to inefficient O&M and lateral movement. In terms of endpoint security capabilities, traditional security vendors rely on multiple independent endpoint security products to provide capabilities such as endpoint antivirus, intranet access authentication, and zero trust network access. This results in complex deployment and high O&M costs. Huawei integrates all these capabilities into one client to implement unified management of endpoints, user identities, and user permissions, and making operations a lot easier.
How can this test report help the SASE deployment of enterprise around the world?
This report helps enterprises gain an in-depth understanding of the key technologies and capabilities of mainstream SASE solutions in the industry, helping enterprises build a multi-branch protection system to secure their services.
Thank you so much for sharing, Toli. We're also curious about what impressed you most about the Huawei's booths.
What was most impressive that we've already talked about is that it's a unified solution where a single network console is used for network and security, and there's collaboration across the environment from the network manager through firewalls, switches, and down to the endpoints.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toli.
Okay, thank you for the invitation, for having me at All In Talk. Stay tuned for more.
Hi
Should I
everyone,
mute
and
myself
welcome to
when
today's
I'm not
IP
talking?
Club webinar. I'll be your host, Megan. Thank you for joining us today as we dive into how enterprises are using Secure Access Service Edge to secure their assets in today's increasingly risky digital world. I'm excited to introduce our three esteemed guests who will be sharing their insights into IEEE trends and Huawei's Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution. And then we'll have a live demo that will show how this exciting solution is using AI to provide end-to-end network protection. So let me kick things off by introducing our guests. Today we have with us Dr. Hissam Al-Hamadi, Senior IEEE member and Vice Chair of IEEE UAE section. Then we have Mr. Benny Huang, Huawei's Chief Architect for the Security Product Domain and Data Communication Product Line. And finally, we have Mr. Fang Wei, a SASE test engineer with Huawei's Security Product Domain and Data Communication Product Line. Introduce yourself, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you all for being here. We can get started. First, we're honored to have Dr. Al-Hamadi here to share some of the newest cybersecurity trends emerging in the AI era. I'll hand it over to you, Dr. Al-Hamadi.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for everyone joining this live streaming. My name is Hussam Al-Hamadi. I'm the Vice Chair of the IEEE and Senior Member of the IEEE Society. I am the Director of the Cybersecurity and Applied Resilience Center at the University of Dubai. So in this presentation, I'm going to have two hats, okay? So I will talk a little bit about the IEEE and their initiatives for the cybersecurity trends in the AI area, and also what we are doing in our cybersecurity and our research centers for these problems. So let me first of all give you, I'm trying to set up the stage here. So first of all, IEEE, they have a standard association. Actually, they are caring about company and industry, where we are actually trying our best to examining the AI, IoT, and edge computing and the emerging technology that we are seeing booming in the minute. The standard association from the cybersecurity perspectives are actually covering mainly three areas where we are actually thinking about the architecture around the human-centrics and actually the decentralized IDs and the distribution data. It's not like the previous 20 decades when actually the topology of the stars were actually controlling our environment, controlling our IT structures. But right now we are shifting to the distributed world, where we actually giving the power for the edges and giving the power actually for the people to engage in a very complex environment. The second area we're actually addressing is cybersecurity for AI and special cases in the IoT, edge, and other things. I mean, the global reliance on the digital platforms has exponentially increased the volume and the complexity of the cyber attack. The traditional cybersecurity approach relies heavily on static rules or kind of signature-based detection, which is an ill-equipped to address the dynamic and evolution of the threats. So such threats have actually led the paradigm to shift toward the leverage of AI in cybersecurity to enhance the threat detection, to actually respond and prevent any type of attacks, or also integrate the AI technology in driving the domain that has brought the transformation of digital world in the place. However, of course, with this great innovation, it comes also great risk. Unfortunately, the cyber criminals are also leveraging the AI to design adaptive malwares or to design and execute phishing campaigns, which actually trying to build the trust with the victims in order to click this email or to click actually the link it's included in the email. So what we unfortunately that's why we are trying to use AI to drive our threat surplus and actually the compatibility of the traditional cybersecurity measures and create an urgent demand for the AI enhancing solution. The third area where the IEEE concerned about and investigating about the assist of the impact of emerging technique like a quantum, Web3, and 5G into the current future cybersecurity world. Now, let me talk a little bit about the double sword of the cybersecurity and AI, and let me start a little bit how we are actually seeing the trends affecting the cybersecurity attacks from the world crisis perspective. And can actually start with the well-known pandemic things, actually like the COVID-19, where we witnessed several actually attacks on several sectors, especially the healthcare sectors. And mainly when they actually trying to attack the human, they try to generate emails were actually trying to manipulate the emotion of the victim, where they're looking for the information such as the health guidance. And I'm showing here is actually one of the samples of the attackers trying to manipulate the mindset of the victims and trying to track them or to click the link, and from there forward either to download a malware or either actually to have what they call it control there or ask for a personal information. The other things not related also to healthcare could be actually any type of world crisis or where, for instance, the Ukraine conflict that happens, actually there were campaign relevant to ransomware on several areas. This is actually the source from the Strategic Risk Global. And I can mention that's actually one of the things, the problems in the world crisis could actually involve the trend on the cybersecurity attacks. There are more. I mean, we have relevant to earthquakes where people are trying to fraud the non-government organization or any charity organization and try to ask these people who have sympathy for the loss of or the crisis of the other areas to send money or to share their information like credit card information, financial information, and other relevant things to the military conflicts or the healthcare, where you can see the trend of the attacks are going forward to this. And we can actually take the world crisis as a reference for us to understand what we have to do in a minute. We can witness this crisis happening. And from this area, I will shift exactly to what we are doing in our research centers, actually, we are thinking about the evolution of the attacks from the crisis starting to the crisis ending, and to see how the attackers are actually trying to leverage the tools in order to perform a much better attacking strategy to evade or to avoid the detection process. So here it's actually one of the projects where we're actually leveraging the large language model technique by inserting several thousands or hundreds of thousands of emails where are unorganized, and to create a platform for the user where we interact with the GPT to understand what was the shift and evolution from the starting of a date to the end of a date. And we can see this is actually evolving. So when the crisis started, it's not about only to focus where it's going to be attacked, but also how it will be evolved by the time the crisis till it's finished. So this is one of the projects that we are trying to leverage the natural language model. Another one is actually about detecting phishing URL, just in case of the person is actually click on this link, and unfortunately the human is the weakest the weakest unit in the chain. So in case if he link it, or in case if he click on this link, the problem is actually right now on us on how to detect the URL is actually phishing URL, and we are taking also an advantage from the AI to analyze the static and the dynamic behavior of the communication in the network or on the HTML or PHP of the language of the URL, and try to give a heads up for the user that he's actually landed on a phishing URL. And it will not actually take a lot of time describing other projects, but we are actually taking the AI as a way to investigate other problems related to money transaction, related to smart grid operational technology, where we can take advantage from the operational technology protocols, and we can test the AI model, which is very simple protocols. It can help us a little bit if we have an intrusion at this layer, and we can actually give an alert and a caution to the SCADA or any system about this. So these are, in addition, of course, the polymorphic malware. So the topics and the fields, the limit is the sky, and using AI in the cybersecurity, it's there is no limit for it, and there is for sure there is an advantage to utilize it. So next, I will talk a little bit about the challenge on the digital transformation, the merging of the cybersecurity, what we can see here. I can mention a little bit as an example. The cloud is one of the examples. So let me just go back, for instance, for 15 years ago, where we saw the trend of, for instance, try to consumerization of the technologies. You may have, of course, probably about the shadow AI, the shadow IT, where the employees trying actually to leverage and outsource resources in order to do their jobs. The intention was not malicious. They just try to do a better job and to be more efficient. And this issue of shadow IT actually has a little bit covered by over time using IT department, where IT department is actually catching up, and they are doing everything indoor, and they don't need actually to relay or let the employee relay on a shadow IT. So that's great. But at the moment, okay, if we fast forward for today, we can see that dealing with the new form of the shadow IT, we are talking about the generative AI and the GPT and stuff. It's like a shadow of a shadow. The employees are also rushing to use these tools, which is actually based on AI, and they are trying to get information like cheating code, like covering, for instance, several tasks. And from this perspective, again, these tools are often operate on an outdoor from our organization boundaries, and just like before of the shadow IT, the data, the sensitive IP the information of the organization, it's out of our hands, and they are actually on other company or on other organization hands. So we think it's actually, this is a problem and we need to address it. So while AI, of course, offering enormous benefits, okay, the integration into cybersecurity also presents a challenge. I mean, one significant concern in the potential of adversarial attacks, where the attackers try to manipulate AI systems by evading detection or trying to do kind of data poisoning, additionally to the reliance of the large language or large data sets for training the machine learning model, either in the production of the AI model or afterward. The model of these raises privacy and ethical issues on the organization side. These issues must be addressed because 62 of the companies are depending on AI, and they are actually extremely care about what increase of the cyber vulnerability could there. 57 of them, they are concerned about the consequences of using AI for personal data, for ethical issues. And also 93% of the automated technology feeling they are unprepared or only partially prepared to tackle these challenges. So some of the examples, okay, in the future, the cybersecurity is actually relying on the continuity of AI integration, adaptation. We can see that European Union, they are actually trying to draft an artificial intelligence act, especially to address this transparency, this privacy, and things like that. I mean, an efficient cybersecurity will actually rely in a human and AI power, and we need to care a little bit about the transparency of the models, and we need to find evaluation of these models before we are using it. The National Institute of Standards and Technologies, another one that actually begin to act or develop an AI risk management framework to guide AI adoption for any federal agencies like US agency and stuff. So it is actually, it's a practical, it's implementing AI and the organization effective integrating AI into these cybersecurity strategies. It's improving overall the security posture in our world. And this is actually what we are right now. I think it's very important to have a look at it and care about it. I hope I actually try to cover the things that we are doing, some kind of insights. And with this, I would like to end my presentation here. Thank you very much for listening. And I'm giving the floor back to you in the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Al-Hamadi. Cybersecurity really is an exciting, if risky area of innovation, thanks to AI. Next, I'm going to turn to Benny. Can you share a bit more with us about how AI-powered SASE is building a strong security defense for enterprises and how Huawei is integrating AI into the SASE architecture?
Yeah, definitely. And good morning, good afternoon to everyone. And my name is Benny Huang. I'm the Chief Architect of Huawei Security Product Domain. Today it's my pleasure to share my experience, especially the Huawei AI-powered SASE solution, how to resolve the concern, like the pinpoint mentioned by Dr. Hamadi. Let's start. First, as we can see, because of the digital transformation and also the cloud-first strategy, and also you can see the lot of small branch office, for example, 7-Eleven, McDonald's, now they need to provide customer internet service, like guest network. Because like a McDonald's office restaurant, they can provide a customer to access internet directly, because it doesn't make sense anymore to routing all traffic from your restaurant to your headquarters. Now we support local breakout, which can routing traffic directly to internet, which means more open, more port open to the public. And then the attacker can have the opportunity to break into your network. That's why. Another one is the hybrid networking. You know, during COVID, it is more specific. After COVID, and a lot of company, enterprise, they have introduced like a work from home and bring your own device and also your mobile phone to do to access your company's asset. You can say because of all the new change, right? We need a new architecture to fight against the attacks. That's concern, right? Okay, anyway, now today our focus is the intersection between cybersecurity and AI. And now AI first. We mentioned the cloud first for the Microsoft, right? And also AI first. You know, nowadays, the malware writer, they can also leverage the AI as per the Dr. Ahmed's solution, right? He mentioned double sword AI, right? One, the malware writer, they can leverage AI to produce more malware, even polymorphic malware, which can generate a lot of malware. Right? So most of the antivirus vendor, they are struggling to fight against, to detect, right? Another one is, you see, why do the malware writers, they are motivated to produce more malware, especially the ransomware, like a few years ago, the WannaCry. The reason behind it is money. And nowadays, because of the widely accepted payment by Bitcoin, right? The Bitcoin, so nowadays, the malware writer, they can ask payment by Bitcoin to hide themselves. So you can say some ransomware as a service organization, they can provide a platform to any malware writer. You don't need to be highly skilled. You just use my API, my platform to build your own ransomware, and you can get paid. Another one you can say, nowadays, email is still the dominant communication for enterprise employee, even between department, right? Even in the same department, you can still communicate by email, document everything. And definitely most employee, they still need to receive email from outside, like a partner, right? Your customer, right? And phishing email is very, very a hot topic because it's very difficult to block. Now we can say in the AI area, there's some concern. And how can we fix the problem? Yeah. Let's see, okay? As you know, security is layered. So only one, you can see from our solution, the SASE solution, we can provide 4 layers, protection and detection. From top down, we have a cloud, we have a network side, we have edge layer, and a plus endpoint layer. So each layer, we leverage our AI by different scale, different performance requirement, different number, right? So let's say bottom up, the first one, as you know, we have endpoint. Endpoint is a very critical role in our SASE solution which can get some data from the endpoint computer, laptop, plus whenever the system can confirm a malware attack, the endpoint can quarantine the host. So to avoid more damage to your organization, okay? And definitely we still use endpoint plus AI, which we can trace and handle hop for the attack, step by step. Another layer top is the edge. Definitely because edge, we have our own SD-WAN and firewall, and so they can provide secure access to the public, for example, to headquarters, data center, even to access public SaaS app. Another layer up, you can see after you can access internet, when you have multiple branch, for example, even McDonald's restaurant. So you have thousands of McDonald's restaurants worldwide, nationwide, right? So how can they access each other, synchronized? That's why we need our SD-WAN solution. You can see, like not only McDonald's restaurant, some school, public school. So when you have thousands of school, and the school you have thousands of school, it doesn't make sense you assign each individual IT and security operator on site. So for SD-WAN solution, you have two challenges. One is how to automate everything. I will elaborate later. And also the performance, right? How to improve your performance for the mass network access, right? One side is access, another side is security, right? From network side. That's why in our SASE solution, we have zero trust access, firewall as a service, the standard feature. The top side, when we have endpoint, edge, network, then how can we coordinate all the data from each layer to reduce the false positive, to get the job done? Now, the top layer, we have Huawei Cloud. Huawei Cloud, we have ICE, NCE Master, which understands all the network topology of your router, switch, plus we have our Huawei Champion Cloud, which can analyze all the event. So let me elaborate more detail. First, as I mentioned before, now for the cloud side, it is very important to remove the gap between networking and security. And Huawei has both solutions. That's why we can provide a unified network security controller. Plus, we leverage AI algorithm to reduce noisy and also to automate the process like handling, detection, and recovery, right? Overall, the benefit is we can reduce the O&M cost for our end customer, right? For example, we have some very customer successful story, like education, and you can see overall what we can get, right, to our end customer. First one is we can automate the threat handling rate 99%, okay, because we have predefined model and to reduce what's positive, and we have a rule. Plus, the overall 4-layered solution can give us advantage in this industry, right? Because we own the 4 layers. For the end customer, we can still improve the operation cost. So because everything is automated, we reduce the false positive, though the customer side can get benefit. So after we get a cloud, remember, after we get a cloud, the next layer is network. You know, we have our SD-WAN gateway, as you know, and also how to secure your multiple branch. And so the benefit is zero downtime for your key business. You can see we also have some use case from a bank. They have 3 data centers and 4,000 branches, right? There are some challenges for performance. How to secure plus without performance downgrading to make them connected, fully connected. To reach that kind of a goal, we need some very high performance hardware chips to optimize the traffic process, plus malware security detection, right? You can see after we deploy the hardware software collaboration, our in-house NP architecture acceleration engine like encrypt, decrypt engine, the hardware, the offloading. So overall, we can get zero latency video conference. For example, live video use case, we optimize and we do hardware offloading to get to guarantee the user experience. Okay. As I mentioned before, when you have 7,000 branches, how can you automate the SD-WAN, the deployment, right, without traveling? Our SD-WAN can support zero-touch deployment method. For example, you can by email, by USB, right? That's also to bring down your cost, and also service activation can be done quickly. Okay. Yeah. Next one, as I mentioned, cloud network, the edge side. The edge side, we have converged branch gateway, which use AI to fight against the AI for most powerful threat. Okay, that's why overall you can see we get the benefit is the unknown threat detection. We can reach 95%. Okay, and plus we can simplify networking operation, save capex by 30%. You can see full stack. Okay. Our last layer, the very bottom layer, as I mentioned, is the endpoint layer. We leverage AI and we can support not only it's just the endpoint, we can do 3-in-1 agent. We can do network access control and the ZTNA, zero trust network access, plus secure the endpoint. So we use unified identity label, real-time environment risk awareness, dynamic permission adjustment. So the real benefit is we can do forensic, like we support 100 hop tracing. It's very important. As I mentioned, we have 4 layers solution, and overall, our Xinghe Intelligent SASE solution has won multiple international awards and a certificate. Okay, you can see different. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Benny, for sharing these technical insights into how the architecture is allowing Xinghe's SASE solution to solve real-world security challenges. Now we're going to move on to the much-anticipated panel discussion, where Dr. Al-Hamadi and Benny can talk a bit more about the ongoing integration of AI and SASE. My first question is actually for Dr. Al-Hamadi. We all know AI is rapidly evolving and being adopted into many different industries. But which areas of enterprise cybersecurity construction do you think can most benefit from AI?
Well, thank you very much. The enterprises can apply AI models and get them in areas, a lot of areas. Okay, they can be used for threat detection. They can used for intelligent operations and maintenance, or any related fields. The most important part that actually when these enterprises trying to use AI model, it's a cost solution. It's not simple solution, and we need actually to make sure what is being used will be actually up to the level to do the detection of any potential or future kind of threats. So that's why we have to rely a little bit on the developers to provide very transparent AI solution and to cover all the aspects as it's mentioned, like in SASE, actually they are covering from the cloud to the edge, which is a very important way that we are trying to cover. It's not a simple, it's not a cheap solution. It's a very expensive solution to cover everything, and it's a very much responsibility and to assure the security of all the applications or all the tools within the enterprises.
Okay, so threat detection, behavioral analysis, intelligent operations, AI really does have the potential to become a core driving force in cybersecurity systems. Now, Benny, your presentation actually mentioned AI-based detection. Can you talk a bit more about these technologies, since it's kind of a point of interest for the audience?
Oh, definitely. And AI is very hot now, but actually, to really deploy AI into production is not an easy job. First, AI is garbage in, garbage out. So how to maintain a very low false positive rate for your real production when you deploy AI is critical. This is challenge one, okay? Challenge two is the AI interpretable, explainable. So most in cybersecurity and AI, most vendors deploy the AI model to detect malware, to do some like email scan, like phishing email. Sometimes the AI can only do the classification, tell you yes or no, but it cannot give you the reason why. So explainable is the second challenge. So in terms of the first one, the data quality for the garbage in, garbage out issue, Huawei, we developed our own antivirus emulator, which can extract the plain text, decrypt data to feed the data into our machine learning model, which is our unique pro-private patent. This is our advantage against most other vendors because we can get the real data and the meaningful data. This is our solution to fight against the first. Okay. In terms of the challenge two, like explainable, as you know, when we in Huawei we have the security cloud center. We connect 100 million malware samples, and we do deep analysis, and we build the graph, like behavior sandbox-based rule graph. Plus, we have our emulator, which can extract the more detailed control flow graph signature. Because of the graph-based approach, which can improve our overall explainable. That's our advantage, okay? Yeah, and also regarding our technical side, we can, as you know, the malware writer, they use Packer as a like encryptor to hide, to generate more malware, you can see. That's why we choose our emulation solution to unpack and decrypt data. That's our advantage. As I mentioned before, we support 20 plus Packer category in this industry, while most vendors, they either support around 10 plus minus or 0. Some vendors, they don't have the capability, right? And also, that's our overall technical side. For production side, our Huawei firewall, we have integrate our emulation technology and also AI algorithm, and we just make them work together. We fine-tuning the two modules. Finally, we can get 95% unknown threat detection rate versus other vendor. Most likely, they can achieve around 80%. This is our advantage. Yeah, whatever the benefit, as overall, we combine everything end to end. So our SASE solution leverage machine learning and cybersecurity. Then we can overall, our end to end, we can achieve 95% detection rate. Yeah, that's our advantage. Others, most likely, their number should be around 80%, deep case by case. Yeah, and also we not only we detect ransomware, malware, we also handle phishing email, URL category, even other attack as well. So overall, we provide bring more value to our customer to secure their operation and non-interrupted operation for their business. Anyway, that's our advantage. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you for giving us all this insight into how Huawei is uniquely approaching AI-powered detection. Now that we've discussed the technology, let's discuss real-world application. Remote work is becoming increasingly common, and more enterprises are relying on cloud services. As their network infrastructure continues to expand, SASE is emerging as an increasingly critical part of many cybersecurity solutions. Now, Benny and Dr. Al-Hamadi, Could you guys talk a bit more about SASE implementation and specifically Huawei SASE implementation, where we've seen it succeed? And then what do we expect from SASE over the next few years?
Yeah, I do have a few useful, successful story from our SASE customer. Let me elaborate more detail. Yeah, and we have deployed some SASE solution worldwide, like in different industries. For example, public service, school, and ISP. The first one, I'd like to share one user story from the Salvador Ministry of Innovation. They have 5,000 school, high school, elementary school. They have very critical, like the policy control for your website access, because our solution should block inappropriate, illegal stuff from the internet. But the schools still need to access the internet, right? That's why after deploy our Huawei SASE solution, our 4-layer solution, and though we have with our 500 million plus URL category and the ransomware protection and email scan, overall the school can run smoothly without being hacked or interrupted, while still keep very high performance for the customer. And we also have another very successful story from South Africa, the city of Ekurhuleni, or COE to make it simple. Yeah, and they have like power grid 800 plus power grid, smart grid distribution station. For example, when you have distributed environment, each station needs to send the user bill, for example, consumption data to the data center, headquarters billing system to prepare, which means more open to the internet, right? So after they deploy a Huawei solution, and during the proof of concept stage, we did see 300 attacks daily in average being detected by our solution. Okay, and then after they deploy everything, and everything works smoothly. Yeah, not only the public service and like the school, we also have another story from ISP. In the Middle East, JRC Electronic Service is a renowned network provider. Before, they are focused on the managed MSP, managed service provider to their customer. After they choose Huawei SASE solution, right? Now their business extended to managed service, security service provider MSP to go bigger. Yeah. That's pretty much. Yeah.
Dr. Al-Hamadi, do you have any insights onto where SASE is going in the future?
Well, basically, currently the main adopters are actually the small and the medium-sized enterprises, while the large enterprises are actually still in the pilot phase. I think in the next 5 years, the large enterprises are going to accept the fully deployment of SASE, and definitely the industry will expand, of course, to the finance and the government sectors. In terms of technical maturity, the current market is mainly composed of a multi-vendor solution with the lack of unified platform, which is actually considerably seen right now. In the future, full stack AI integration and end-to-end collaboration between the single vendors network and the security will be, of course, the direction. The customer use cases at the moment, the hybrid work scenarios are currently demanded. I mean, with basic SD-WANs actually plus zero trust as a core requirement, the business immigration to the cloud, acceleration, zero trust, and AI operations, and of course multi-cloud networking will become the standard, become the directions. The regional at the moment, like a Middle East or Asian Pacific, is actually showing a fast growth in this direction, and definitely the adaptation of this technology will be seen in the future very soon, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Benny and Dr. Ahmadi, for showing us how SASE is evolving from a theoretical concept to a practical tool that will continue to evolve thanks to AI. Now, to better understand how Huawei's SASE solution works, we've actually arranged for Mr. Feng Wei to give us a live demo. Thank you again, Mr. Feng Wei, for joining us today.
Hi everyone, this is Feng Wei, the Huawei test engineer responsible for the Huawei SASE solution. It's my honor to conduct the demo part today. I will show you the capability of Huawei SASE solution through cases under 3 scenarios. In the first case, it's about the detection capability of the SASE gateway for variant viruses. According to the AV test, the number of new viruses increased by over 100 million each year. Different types of variant viruses pose a greater challenge to network security. In 2024, cyber viruses attacks cost an estimated $9.5 trillion in damages globally. We will use a demo to see the SASE gateway's ability to detect variant viruses. We can see the hacker currently has an original virus on the desktop that belongs to the well-known ransomware TelsaCrypt. Hacker will use a UPX parking tool to generate 1,000 variants of viruses to make it difficult for traditional firewall to detect all variant viruses. After the generation, now the hacker has 1 original viruses and 1,000 variant viruses, and then the hacker put the other viruses on the file server. And an internal user opens the attachment in an email and automatically download all viruses from the hacker's file server. As you can see, based on the emulator unpacking technology and the AI detection algorithm, the SASE gateway detected 100% of the viruses and successfully defend against this virus's cyber attack. And let's go to the next case. The second case is about the internal network access authentication. Nowadays, hybrid work has become a common trend. How to ensure the security of the entire network? That is, only authorized user and secure terminals can access the network. Our HiSec endpoint, as a unified client with NAC and EDR capabilities, can achieve secure access and prevent common network security threats such as the ransomware. Let's show these capabilities with the demo. First, as a corporate user, we open the HiSec endpoint agent on the desktop and enter the account and password to complete authentication. Since our PC is currently in a healthy state, we will authorize the normal network access permission. Next, we go to the NCE campus and configure authentication rule to restrict network access for the PC with risk to deny the access of this PC. And return to our PC. The user accidentally downloaded a ransomware named WannaCry when downloading applications online without knowing it. And the ransomware runs automatically, and all normal files on the desktop are encrypted by the ransomware. Our HiSec endpoint detected the ransomware, determined our PC is in an unhealthy state, and modified our network permission to restrict the network permission according to the rule we configured on the NCE campus just now. And the user will fail to access the internet website because the network permission was restricted. After the ransomware is detected, in NCE campus, the network administrator can see the corresponding asset score is unhealthy. The network administrator can find the corresponding ransomware event, and we can perform one-click quick handle to restore the files encrypted by the ransomware. Then the PC's security score returns to a healthy state, and the culprit will find the files on the desktop returned to normal, and the network access permission has been automatically restored to unrestricted permission. And they can try to access the website again, and we can see this time the access is successful. And in the third case, we will introduce the related content of unified security operation. It's estimated that there are over 600 million cyber attacks per day, and most of which target internal network. In the Huawei SASE solution, after our NC campus is connected to the analyzer Qiankun, it can be used as a unified platform for both network and security. So if the terminal installed high-sec endpoint is attacked, the high-sec endpoint can work with the SASE gateway to issue a blacklist to protect the entire network. Okay, let's go to the demo. First, we log into the internal network server, and you can see the high-sec endpoint is installed. And in NC campus, we define which internal IP address are allowed to access this internal server. And the hacker on the internet tries to remotely control the internal server. And we can see the desktop of the server can be viewed. Next, the next network administrator on the NC campus is notified to an abnormal endpoint event. Click the event and view the event details. Confirm it's an abnormal login behavior by a hacker, and select handle by playbook. This handle records indicate the execution is successful, and the hacker's IP is added to the SASE gateway's blacklist, which means that all assets under the SASE gateway are no longer at risk of being attacked by the same hacker, even if they haven't installed the high-sec endpoint. And due to the blacklist of the SASE gateway taking effect, the hacker abnormal login is blocked. And the last case is about the east-west traffic blocking, which also can be said to be about the compromised host. In 2025, the average cost of a data breach related to internal network compromise reached $4.8 million. By using near-source blocking, we can contain the threat of a compromised host within a limited range. Imagine a user brings a PC that may be already infected with a virus into the company network without knowing it. After the PC connects to the network, we can see it automatically initiates a CNC connection to the hacker. And the network administrator is notified to a compromised host event. Click the event and view the details and analyze information about this event. And then we can see the event is handled automatically. It means NCE campus delivered the blacklist to the PC access switch to prevent other internal network devices from being infected. The user can see the CNC connection has been blocked and cannot access other networks on the compromised host. Ensure the security of other devices on the internal network. Okay, that's the all content of the Huawei SASE demo. Thanks for the watching.
Thank you, Fangwei, for showing us how the solution works in real deployment and operation scenarios. The intuitive and convenient interface is really something to see firsthand. That's all for our webinar today. Thank you everyone for joining us to explore how AI is profoundly reshaping the landscape of cybersecurity. SASE will definitely be a key for our next generation network architecture, and it's exciting to see it's continuing to evolve as it integrates with AI. Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution is a prime example of innovation aligned with this trend. Once again, I want to thank our esteemed guests for joining us today and for their amazing insights and discussion. To all our viewers, if you found today's discussions interesting, please keep an eye on Huawei's official channels for updates on our next webinar. A recording of today's discussions will also be uploaded for everyone soon. Stay tuned for more technical discussions and industry insights from Huawei in the future. Thank you all, and see you next time.
Hello everyone, this is Faham Al-Naim from UAE.
Hello everyone, this is Majid Tijani from Saudi.
Hi, this is Mohammed Abrar. I'm the PCS manager for Foresight Technologies Abu Dhabi. I'm really glad to be the member in the IB Club.
I'm glad to be an IB Club member.
I'm also a privileged member of Intelligent IB Club Huawei. It has been a great experience, and I also encourage all of you to be a part of a fantastic community where we are able to share intelligence and learn about the new Huawei technologies. And I think transformation of technologies will start from this IB Club.
Join IB Club now. Together we strive to intelligent IB.
We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
Please introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin Tolley, founder of the Tolley Group. The Tolley Group is a world-leading third-party testing service provider. We are committed to providing authoritative and fair test services for ICT vendors to help customers verify solution and product capabilities.
Could you tell us why you choose MWC to publish a report on SASE tests?
We've noticed that with the advent of the AI era, cyber attacks tend to be more intelligent and covert. On the other hand, up to 85% of enterprises around the world have deployed their services on the cloud, and a large number of branches need to access the cloud, making network security protection and management more challenging. Statistics show that the losses caused by ransomware attacks around the world exceed 10 billion US dollars each year. Network security has thus become a major concern of the C-suite. To address this issue, we evaluated mainstream SASE solutions in the industry and analyzed their product capabilities to help enterprises make informed decisions when it comes to network security.
Good to know that. Could you introduce the basic information about the SASE solution test?
Sure. We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Our tests focused on the multi-branch secure interconnection, local branch protection, and secure O&M scenarios, which are major concerns of government and education customers. A total of 18 typical cases were used to comprehensively evaluate these SASE solutions. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
What impressed you the most during the tests?
Sure, there are many impressive results. Here are some examples. In terms of detection capabilities, Huawei firewalls detected 95% of the threat and malware samples we used, which were public third-party samples. In contrast, the similar products detected only 80% of the samples. As far as the unknown virus variants generated using commonly available tools, Huawei firewalls detected 100% of them. In contrast, the other solutions we tested failed to detect them at all. In the current AI era, 4 new variants are generated each second, according to analysts. Therefore, the threat detection capabilities of network security devices is crucial. In terms of collaboration capabilities, Huawei has a unified controller that can manage both network and security capabilities. When a network security product detects a threat, it can collaborate with the endpoint network devices and other security products to handle the threat with one click and block the threat on the device nearest to the attack source. In contrast, the other vendors we tested needed to switch between multiple management platforms, leading to inefficient O&M and lateral movement. In terms of endpoint security capabilities, traditional security vendors rely on multiple independent endpoint security products to provide capabilities such as endpoint antivirus, intranet access authentication, and zero trust network access. This results in complex deployment and high O&M costs. Huawei integrates all these capabilities into one client to implement unified management of endpoints, user identities, and user permissions, and making operations a lot easier.
How can this test report help the SASE deployment of enterprise around the world?
This report helps enterprises gain an in-depth understanding of the key technologies and capabilities of mainstream SASE solutions in the industry, helping enterprises build a multi-branch protection system to secure their services.
Thank you so much for sharing, Toli. We're also curious about what impressed you most about the Huawei's boots.
What was most impressive that we've already talked about is that it's a unified solution where a single network console is used for network and security, and there's collaboration across the environment from the network manager through firewalls, switches, and down to the endpoints.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toli.
Okay, thank you for the invitation, for having me at All In Talk. Stay tuned for more.
Hello everyone, this is Shimalis Legasa, Chief Information Officer of Cooperative Bank of Oromia. Cooperative Bank of Oromia is one of the top banks in Ethiopia. It has maintained a high growth rate for the last 3 years. Moreover, the growth rate of mobile banking formation and digital platform users and partners is exceeding our expectation, which leading to a rapid growth in information systems data. Therefore, it is very crucial to ensure the network security. Cooperative Bank of Oromia has 750 branches in Ethiopia. Branches lack protections and are vulnerable to network attacks. As digital banking accelerates, in addition to traditional financial service, the traffic of non-transactional services of book bank increases from time to time, including video conferencing, monitoring, and ATM traffic, posing higher requirements on the performance of security devices. At the same time, we plan to build 5G backup links at each branch to ensure uninterrupted interconnections between branches and headquarters. Against this background, we started the construction of the head office branch security interconnections project and sought professional security solutions from vendors. Though multiple rounds of in-depth workshop and POC tests, we gained a new understanding of Huawei's single intelligent unified SASE solution. After that, we organized multiple rounds of technical clarification discussions. Finally, Huawei's solution exceeded our expectation. Finally, we chose to cooperate with Huawei. Currently, Huawei's USG series SASE converged gateways are deployed in more than 50 branches. Advanced threat prevention services and IPS and antivirus are enabled, ensuring high performance and smooth service flow in branches. In terms of O&M, Huawei provides a unified network and security controller, NC campus, to manage network services and security devices in a unified manner. Compared with the separate management of multiple platforms in the past, Huawei's solution significantly improved operation efficiency. Currently, the 5G solution has implemented in Ethiopia with the 5G capabilities of Huawei branch SASE gateway. We are the first to implement with high-speed 5G interconnection between branches and headquarters. In future, we are deepening our strategic partnership with Huawei.
Hello everyone, this is Fahim Al-Naim from UAE.
Hello everyone, this is Michael Tijani from Saudi.
Hi, this is Mohammed Abrar. I'm the PCS manager for Foresight Technologies Abu Dhabi. I'm really glad to be the member in the IB Club.
I'm glad to be an IB Club member.
I'm also a privileged member of Intelligent IB Club Huawei. It has been a great experience, and I also encourage all of you to be a part of a fantastic community where we are able to share intelligence and learn about the new Huawei technologies. And I think transformation of technologies will start from this IB Club.
Join IB Club now. Together we strive to intelligent IB.
We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
Please introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin Tolley, founder of the Tolley Group. The Tolley Group is a world-leading third-party testing service provider. We are committed to providing authoritative and fair test services for ICT vendors to help customers verify solution and product capabilities.
Could you tell us why you choose MWC to publish a report on SASE tests?
We've noticed that with the advent of the AI era, cyber attacks tend to be more intelligent and covert. On the other hand, up to 85% of enterprises around the world have deployed their services on the cloud, and a large number of branches need to access the cloud, making network security protection and management more challenging. Statistics show that the losses caused by ransomware attacks around the world exceed $10 billion each year. Network security has thus become a major concern of the C-suite. To address this issue, we evaluated mainstream SASE solutions in the industry and analyzed their product capabilities to help enterprises make informed decisions when it comes to network security.
Good to know that. Could you introduce the basic information about the SASE solution test?
Sure. We selected the SASE solutions at the same level offered by mainstream vendors. Our tests focused on the multi-branch secure interconnection, local branch protection, and secure O&M scenarios, which are major concerns of government and education customers. A total of 18 typical cases were used to comprehensively evaluate these SASE solutions. Under the same test conditions, the Huawei Xinghe Intelligent Unified SASE solution was significantly ahead of the other vendors in all the scenarios.
What impressed you the most during the tests?
Sure, there are many impressive results. Here are some examples. In terms of detection capabilities, Huawei firewalls detected 95% of the threat and malware samples we used, which were public third-party samples. In contrast, the similar products detected only 80% of the samples. As far as the unknown